This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard is always live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy 3-hour program lined up today. On the show, we have professional sports bettor Brad Powers in 30 minutes on the Texas Tech situation, the news that popped yesterday. Julian Edlow, DraftKings, coming up a little bit later on. A lot to get into with him. He's got a good pulse on the Celtics. They're laying a big number tonight against the 76ers. And Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this great property, coming up in the final half hour of the program. Okay, so we will dive into tonight's playoff action coming up in about 15 minutes. Let's kind of discuss what took place last night, moving forward with some of these games and the updated series prices as well. You gave out Denver, and you liked it, you bet it, you recommended, 16-1 to win the West now, with an angle of possibly coming back to beat Minnesota with all of their injuries. Joker was playing probably his worst series of basketball in his life. And so if you liked it at 16-1, if they won that game, it was only going to go down. I saw 12-1 today. They got the job done last night. They actually covered the closing number as well. Now, shop around today. The series price is between $1.30 and $1.50. I don't know if that's a big enough adjustment to go to $1.30, because I'll ask you this, Paulie. They're laying 6 now in Game 6 back in Minnesota. If the Wolves don't win that game, are they going to go to Denver and win game? They've done it before, but now they have multiple guys out.
No, they didn't play well either. I mean, you certainly, the silly turnovers cannot happen. And that's just like what Detroit did. You can't beat yourself. But they got the offense figured out, at least for the time being. The role players were great. You got that performance out of Jones. I don't know if you can get that again.
Yeah.
But, you're right. It's already moved, and it's they're going to have all their hands full against San Antonio. But it's just more of you're going to hate yourself if this comes in, and it's going to continue to go down. So I do think they win the series, and I think they beat Minnesota Thursday, and then they'll win Game 7. And it appears that they'll get on the right track, figure this out. And I don't know what the status of Gordon's going to be moving forward. That is definitely cause for concern that he's already banged up. But fingers crossed, you get Watson back. Who knows?
Right.
That's just a weird story where they think he's ready to go. He wants to be 100%, and maybe he's got a foot out the door, and that's it. But, Minnesota was game in the second half, but you just can't turn the ball over like that and beat yourself.
Yep, and so this angle involving that game last night improved to 13-3 since 2012. Home playoff favorites off of 3 straight up /ATS losses. That was Denver last night. That was also the Houston Rockets in Game 4 against the Lakers. It's 2-0 this year. And I will ask you this, too. What did you make overall of Joker and his game last night?
He was great.
He
only took 4 threes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a ho-hum reaction to the game that he had. And I mean, watching the game like he was the best player on the court, that's the Joker that we're used to seeing.
Well, spoiled.
Oh, we totally take it for granted.
Yeah.
I saw that this is from Denver radio host Nate Kreckman about an hour ago, and he's spot on with this. He said Joker was great last night, but nothing outrageous, right? Asking the question. So he did some digging at StatHead. Playoff games with at least 25 points on 15 or fewer shots, along with at least 10 rebounds and 15 assists. We just think that's going to be Joker. What third-time NBA history.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Chris Paul and Oscar Robertson. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just, Joker, fine, whatever. He needs to do that every single game.
I think they'll beat the Spurs if the supporting cast plays like that. Finally, you get Cam Johnson to shoot well, and what Jones did. But the comeback is that might be only a one and done. But it's happened 13 times in 79 years to come down, rally 3-1. But these guys have done it twice, and they did it in the same playoffs.
Right.
So they would be the third team to do it. And then on the other hand, you've only had 6-8s to beat a 1 seed. And it's, Orlando's only 240 to win the series after Detroit's abomination again last night. So we got a lot going on, and then you got between the Flyers situation, there's a lot of comeback opportunities here.
Well, you gave out 2 futures yesterday.
Yeah.
One of which was Denver 16-1 to win the West. Other one was Magic 35-1 to win the East. I tailed you on that one. You said down to 240 to win the series and 20-1 to win the East. Do you think right now 20-1 to win the East would still be worth a bet for those people who missed, because it appears as if they're going to win this series. Detroit has been an absolute disaster here.
Yeah.
And that I think, tip of the cap, Orlando's a major reason why.
I think 9.5 is crazy tomorrow.
Okay.
But you got to see Wagner's status, though, as well.
But
then again, I really don't care, because he didn't play in the fourth quarter, and Banchero was awful, and they still won the game. And again, Carter Jr. continues to outplay Duran, and then you got Angel Reese involved in sending out the Instagram stuff when he got put on a poster with the cane dunk, which was all-time top 10. Like, he kept going up, and up, Superman with that dunk. But it's just, and everyone is right what they said. You every time you have this opportunity, you got to improve your team. And they didn't do it at the deadline. Mm-hmm. You needed shooting, you needed depth, needed another score. And they stood pat and said, no, we're good. And they also came in cocky, as it were, where the East runs through us, what they said after the regular season. And now you're down 3-1, and that's only happened 6 times.
Yeah, but in an Eastern Conference here, that was the whole thing. It's been going on since last year in the playoffs. When Tatum got hurt and Halliburton got hurt, you knew that the East was going to be wide open. And here you go. They're capitalizing on it in the regular season, putting together this magical run. It reminds us of the 2004 team and the Bad Boys back in the 80s, how they're physical. They push teams around. And they had a chance to go out there to make it work with the salary cap, guys. They never did anything. It's like, what are you doing?
Oh,
you can have this conference this year.
Uh-huh.
Now, I did not want to draw a line through them when the playoffs started, and dead wrong the way it appears. And
88 points.
Oh,
in today's
disgusting.
NBA. Yeah.
And
right.
But who had the magic turning? If you go back to when they got beat by the 76ers in the first play-in game, who had this?
On the heels of the Boston abomination.
Right.
Yes. You're playing for home court against backups lane 14. You lost the game. Banchero goes 4 of 18. They still win. Wagner doesn't play the fourth quarter. They still win.
I wonder
they totally believe they're the better team. They know they're better. They're talking trash, and they're going to win in 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how bad Detroit's been, because this is not going to change that Duran's going to outplay Carter Jr. It's just not going to happen.
I wonder if there's anybody out there who follows the day-to-day drama of the NBA. And we were joking around a little bit yesterday about the whole Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion thing. But as soon as we talked about this series yesterday, I was getting blown up, the phone, the DMs, and people are asking me, are you aware of the Angel Reese / Wendell Carter and Jalen Duren situation? I'm like, I got to be honest, I'm not. I don't follow it, don't really care. And so she used to date Duren, now dates Carter. And I imagine
he broke it off. That's why she's upset. Because every time they win, she's on social media and she blasts them with the
cane dunk last night. All-time poster job, and she's all over social media like that with a huge following.
Yes.
Like it's easy to sit here and put this together now and say, I wonder if anybody's just been betting Duren under props the entire time based on his head's not going to be on straight. Because the guy went from an all-NBA player in the regular season to you can't even have him on the court.
Absolutely, you're right. It's got to be the gal's messing with him, messed up his head. I mean, come on. You go from 23-9 and you're shooting 60% in the second half, and now you're averaging 9 and 6.
Yep.
It's got to be upstairs. But you said yesterday, if your second best player is Tobias Harris, good luck.
Yeah, you don't really have a chance to do anything.
No. So just to put this in perspective, I'm not even going to count 2 of them. In 99, it was the lockout, and there was only a 6-game difference between the Heat and the Knicks. They only played 50 games. And then the one year Rose tore his ACL in game 1.
Okay, yeah.
So it's really only happened 4 times when these teams are on the up and healthy, that an 8's beat a 1. But my whole case yesterday was it's not a typical 8 against a 1 because Orlando had a higher win total, and Orlando was a 6-1 to win the East after they made the Bain trade.
Yeah.
And I love what Tim Bontemps said again. If you're playing pickup ball and you're drafting teams and picking teams, you get to 5 Orlando guys before you get to 3 Detroit guys.
Yeah. I'm also very bitter because it's going to be another Hornets bet that I made for that team to win the East at 150 to 1. And they had their chances a zillion times. And now all I can do is watch a series and think the Hornets would have done the same thing to them. Because they got dudes that would have killed them the entire time.
Yeah.
And then, so to tie it into hockey as well, are the Penguins really going to do this? They're going to come back from down 3-0?
Yeah. The Flyers better get the first goal in Game 6. Now, this has happened 4 times in history. Down 0-3. But now, sometimes, and I think Vegas must do it in Game 5. Sometimes a goalie change can wake the team up and change things.
Well, did you hear Stormy on Money Moves?
And
Not going to happen.
That's ridiculous.
She talked to Torts last night before the game, and she said he was adamant about it. Not going to go away from Carter Hart.
Yeah, before though. But after too, same thing?
I think it was before the game.
Well, then he went out and gave up 4.
I understand
Which
that.
I know it's a team game, and it's unfair what people do with the goalie assassination stuff. You win and lose as a team, but sometimes it's got to shake up the locker room. And it worked in Buffalo. It's working in Pittsburgh. And I think it'll work in Vegas if they do it.
No, I agree with you, Paul.
But this has changed things, and Shelops has been great. But the Flyers must get the first goal in Game 6.
They got to win that game.
Yeah?
They got to finish them off in 6. So we brought this up yesterday. Do not let them win the game. Much like I would say tomorrow night, my comparison was with the Lakers. Do not let the Rockets win that game.
Sure.
Do not go back to Houston,
and
it's 3-2.
There are some crazy props that can cash, and we'll get to it later in the show. But remember, DraftKings had up, would teams win a series down 2+ games, or would a team win a series when they never led in the series?
Okay.
So, I mean, these are some big tickets that could possibly cash here with some of these comebacks and what can transpire.
Yep, for sure. Good action, though, last night overall. In Oklahoma City, that was actually a fun game because...
You concerned about their defense?
No, it was one game.
Okay.
And Phoenix played super loose, I thought, and they got a lot of guys who can score when it's the right night.
Yeah,
So
they had to go up tempo, too.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a really good game to watch, actually. Mm-hmm. And the biggest concern that I would have is no Jalen Williams. Like, I need to know the status of him moving forward.
Yep.
Because he's an awesome basketball player.
I think if you have Boston future tickets and San Antonio tickets, you have to bet the Thunder right now, $1.10.
Yeah. Yep. Up next, the Boston Celtics have been dreadful after winning a playoff game by double digits. Wait until you hear these numbers. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Get VSiN Pro for just $9.99 for your first 30 days and start betting with the edge serious bettors rely on every day. Access expert picks, real-time odds, and actionable insights across every major sport. Plus, get player prop projections powered by Opta AI, daily picks delivered straight to your inbox, and betting guides for every major sporting event. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Dave Ross here with VSiN by the Books. Join me and my guy Jensen Lewis tomorrow. Going to continue to track the postseasons in both the NBA and the NHL. Tell you whose stock is up and whose is going in the wrong direction. Plus preview the Cadillac Championship and so much more. We've got a jam-packed guest list that includes Jonathan Von Tobel, Adam Burke, and our Wednesdays with Wes Reynolds. It's VSiN by the Books, Wednesday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We got to point this out, Paulie. There is a wildly entertaining match going on in soccer right now, Champions League. PSG with a 3-2 lead. That was the score at halftime over Bayern Munich, and they play now in the 54th minute. And the total has been obviously elevated. It was 6.5 at halftime. Over was about $1.60.
Yeah.
What are you seeing on the game right now?
Same thing.
Right in that
Just
same
underway.
neighborhood?
Right. And the book has been going crazy all game here.
It was
with
just
the fireworks.
fast and furious, one right after another.
The poacher, Harry Kane, of course, with a penalty, and he got a party started for Bayern Munich. But you're right, couple penalties, 5 goals already. It's been incredible. And Arsenal goes tomorrow.
Okay, so NBA action that we have tonight in the playoffs. Hawks playing at the Knicks. Knicks taking a little bit of money, 6.5-ish with the number on the screen. Total about 214.5. How about this? The Opta AI stats at VSiN.com. You're not going to believe this, Paulie. They're in love with Mikal Bridges tonight.
Oh, please.
They love him to go. They have like their biggest edges on the board tonight. All of the following props: points and assists, points and rebounds, PRA. My question is, like, are their numbers just saying that it's a buy low situation? He's had 11 points once, and he has rarely gone over any of his props yet in the entire series.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He's getting like he played
Not
20.
with my money.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that or not.
This prop is wrong. If I'm assuming the Knicks are going to do the same thing on offense, you got to go over 3 or 3.5 assists for Cat, and you can ladder it as well, because he had 10 dimes in the last game, and Brown was being coy afterwards. But to bring Atlanta's height and size away from the rim, and then to get Brunson off ball movement and help out, and then dump it down to OG as well, and work on him in his playmaking abilities, it's way too low. So for that guy to come out and they throttle Atlanta in Game 4, and they changed their offense, and Cat had 10 dimes, you got to bet over 3.5 again.
You want to ladder all the way up to like 8, 9, 10 again?
Yes.
Just in case it happens one more time?
Absolutely.
And what about Josh Hart now? Again, it's 8.5 with the rebounds. It's juiced to the over more than it has been the entire series. But in the 4 games so far, Paulie, 14, 13, 9, and 9 rebounds for him. So it's like $1.30-ish in that neighborhood at last check for him to have 9 plus. Opta AI down on him, though. They're only projecting 7.72. But that, again, this is what the guy does every single playoff run.
It's a strange series, though, as well. The Knicks should be up 3-1. The Knicks blew Game 2. The Knicks have been blowing them out in 2 of the wins and the close losses. I would say McCollum over points. He's become public enemy number 1 in the Garden. He's in Trae Young territory. He should get to 20 points. I know Cohen likes that. He wrote about that today at VSiN.com. And you got to go back to the well with Daniels. Daniels continues to go. He's been on a sick run the last 2 months of the season with the over rebounds and assists. And he's gone over that every game but one, and that's 11.5 tonight. Okay. So the Knicks should win, and they should win this series, and they're much the best here. But you see, teams can blow games, and they blew Game 2, and I'm sure they regret that. But they should come out and stomp Atlanta tonight.
I will point this out. Historically speaking, teams that win Game 5 in a 2-2 series, they advance to the next round 84% of the time. The last team to blow a 3-2 series lead, the Knicks in 2024 to the Pacers.
Yeah, that was the Game 7 game.
Yep.
They shot like 70% in the first half.
Yep. And here is the angle on the 76ers playing at the Celtics tonight. Boston laying a gigantic number. It's
Came
11. Yeah, it was 11.5, so it's 11. But after a big win in a playoff spot, when they're coming off of a game and a win by 10-plus points, since 2020, they are 10-21 ATS. They're 0-9-1 in their last 10. BetLab Sports with that angle. This is just, it's miraculous how they're so good on the road. Mm-hmm. And that's how they have blitzed teams now for years. And then, like, specifically when they come back home or off of a big win like that, they do not follow it up. And I will point this out again. The Opta AI stats, they're projecting 19.9 points for Embiid. His prop is 26.5. Is that right? That's not even, that's like the number 1 edge they have on the board tonight.
Yeah. Our buddy Joe Osborne at Covers likes Boston. I'm on the other side. I don't trust them, but they've been good the last 2 years in this spot, blowing teams out within the clinching scenario. You might say, well, Embiid will be better. And, he was out there and rusty in the last game. but they got killed on the boards in that game. You get Embiid back and you're minus 21 on the boards. Certainly Pritchard won't shoot like that again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Vucevic is getting more run than your guy Keita. I think that's where Missoula's making a mistake. I would play more Keita. But in any event, 56% of their shots from the series are from three. Second most in 47 years in the playoffs. And they're outscoring Philly by almost 22 a game behind the line. So they didn't go in game 2. They lost. They went in game 1 and game 4, blowouts. Game 3 was tight, though. But I still think Philly can hang and make this respectable. I think Boston will win, but I think that's a big ask, though, to win by 12.
Yeah, and by the way, this is not, to me anyway, I don't feel like this is chasing stats from Peyton Pritchard because he was the man in the previous game, and he went ballistic with 32 points. So his points prop tonight is between 13.5 and 14.5. But here's the angle in the bet that I made earlier today. His 3-point prop is 2.5. So I was expecting 3.5, especially after that game. It's not 2.5. Then I was definitely expecting heavy juice. Plus 110 for him to make 3 threes. He can do that in his sleep. And so for the made threes in this series, did not start off so hot for him. 2 and 0 in the first 2 games, but then in the last 2, 5 and 6. But even maybe more importantly, the attempts have been there almost every game but one. 9, 4, 10, and a dozen attempts so far in the 4 games for Peyton Pritchard. You give me 9, 10 attempts tonight from him.
Yep.
I'm very confident that 2.5 over at plus money is a good bet.
Another goal. The soccer game's crazy. He cashed most threes in the last game. He's 5-1 at Caesars. The most threes in the series is wide open. Maxi's got the lead, but this is crazy how that could wind up as well if you bet that before the series. But I'm with you. I don't mind 5-1. And again, I would take Derek White under as he continues to struggle. If they're going to win the title and make a deep run, they have to get him going. So I know Hauser will chip in and Pritchard will chip in, but Derek White is way off with his shot.
Agreed.
There's something wrong. And he takes a lot of them, too. They got to get him right, and they got to get him straightened out. Also, I don't mind Paul George going for 15.
I don't either.
But at 13 of the last 15, he scored this, I think Cohen wrote about.
And all 4 in the series.
So got that? Yes. That's another one good, too, to look at with the props.
I'm right there with you. What do you want to do with the Ducks and the Oilers tonight in the NHL?
I agree with Jonathan Davis in his write-up today at VSiN.com. Edmonton has done nothing to show that they should be a $1.70 favorite tonight.
Yeah, well, and this is another one that money came down here. Money came down on Anaheim.
I don't care that all the talent they have, but McDavid with the ankle, Draisaitl dealing with the injuries. They've done it before. They were down 2-0 to the Kings last year. They were down 3-2 to Vancouver the year before, and they were down 3-0 to Florida before forcing a Game 7 and losing. But what an unmitigated disaster if you go from back-to-back Stanley Cups and then get bounced in the first round against a team that came in losers of 8 of their last 9.
Yeah, but not a great hockey team here.
Yeah, right. So they can't be this price. I like the Ducks. I think the Ducks win. Stay out of the box. Enough of this. But the officials are doing a terrible job. They're calling way too many penalties. But in any event, Anaheim is 6 of 12 on the power play in this series. That's a killer. Mm-hmm. And then you get after the 2-0 lead in the last game, and you blow it. And Anaheim has 2 power play goals. So the first period's gone over in every game. And both teams to score 3 goals has cashed in every single game. So here it's $1.70 at Circa, higher juice maybe at other spots. And a good note from Jonathan Davis, if a playoff game is 1-0 at the end of the first period, the second period is 11-1 to the over. If you play that in play.
Well, so period by period here, you mentioned that. By the way, it's still minus 170 to go over 1.5 tonight. That was the same number as the previous game, and it's gone over every single time.
You said, though, it's bad math. The total's 7.5.
But right. So, look, I don't like the 7 tonight because the McDavid thing scares me off it a little bit if he's not going to be out there skating around. But on that note, like the second period as well, and you can bet this before the game, second period has been flying over in the series. I don't really get involved in the second period betting, but...
Yeah, would you rather do it before or in play?
Well, what does the number go to if it's 2-1 into the first?
Yeah. I'd rather jump in if it's 1-0 after 1.
Well, so that'd be the ultimate
one angle. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate situation right there.
Yeah.
I kind of like the first period over anyway. I like the first period over more than the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with the McDavid news.
I mean, their defense has been atrocious, and then you think you get the shot in the arm going back to Yari, and that they blow the lead too. But again, you score 4 goals in a home playoff game, you got to win. In game 1, they blew they had to come back and win. Anaheim could have got the broom out on them.
Yeah. Anything else in the other 2 games? Do the Sabres finish off the Bruins tonight?
This one's tough. I would think you'd get a big effort out of Boston after Swayman lit them up and they were embarrassed at home and run out. And like Buffalo said, it was the best period we've played all year.
That's a huge number tonight, in my opinion.
I hope they get it done. I'd love to see it. If they could make the Stanley Cup. Buffalo hasn't won a series since 2007. Think about that. But it's hard because you're coming off one of the best games you've ever played and best periods ever.
Yeah.
And you can't. Boston has to respond and show pride.
Doesn't matter the sport. You typically don't want to chase that in the next game. Professional sports bettor Brad Powers on the program coming up next. We will discuss the situation with Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby, who decided to get professional help for a gambling addiction. Could the NCAA rule him ineligible?
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money on VSiN.
As we kicked around yesterday, who knows? This story, it might be nothing, but it also could be very significant, and that is Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby. The news came out yesterday, decided to get professional help for a gambling addiction, and to discuss it in depth more here on Follow the Money, we go out to the Progressive guest line as a longtime friend of the network and show and professional sports bettor Brad Powers joins the program. Good to see you again today. Brad, how are you today?
Doing well. Definitely doing well than the friends in Lubbock there.
Yeah, but you must hate the timing because as I pointed out in the show, I was like, how about the timing of this? I just read Brad's analysis and breakdown on a couple of Heisman bets last week at covers.com, and one of them was Sorsby at 20-1. And then this news popped. You must have been thrilled yesterday.
It wasn't because, I mean, not that I think Sorsby's going to win the Heisman, but they wanted a value bet. And I broke it down, in the past 15 years, typically the Heisman winner is a quarterback. Typically, it's kind of a long shot, 20-1 or greater in the preseason has been a majority of the Heisman winners. And then finally it has to be on a team that's capable of winning 10 or 11 games during the regular season. And I thought Sorsby checked all them boxes and then some. And so I liked him quite a bit. I bet it. And now, I mean, that's a loser because I know he might play. He's not playing. He's not playing college football again, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, they can't let the kid. I mean, I don't even care if they were $2 parlay bets. They're just not. They're going to make an example out of the kid, and he's not going to play.
Well, that's how strong you are on it, huh? Okay, all right.
I saw Pat Forty saying, "Hey, it was at Indiana 4 years ago. He's getting help. They'll do the right thing." You're not buying that at all. You're going to be
no, not at all. He bet on college football. I mean, you can't bet on college football and still have eligibility.
But you got good news on Hammond. So to walk us through the drop-off, and now that looks like Hammond could be back for the Week 1 game, though.
Yeah, I mean, originally Hammond wasn't supposed to be ready until mid-September, maybe even late September, which could impact a key game against Houston. Houston might be the second-best team in the Big 12, and they're certainly in the mix there with BYU and Utah. So originally, walking through my offseason as far as Texas Tech's power rating, I downgraded them. Obviously, last year was an historic season. They had an historic defensive line. We just saw that in the draft. Bailey going among the very top picks. So I downgraded them 3 points just because I thought there'd be some regression. And then with the Sorsby news, I downgraded them another 3.5 points. So about a full touchdown downgrade since last year's team. And I'm here to tell you, I still have Texas Tech favored in every single game per my power ratings by double digits. So that's how easy of a schedule Texas Tech has. They play absolutely nobody in the non-conference. They don't play BYU. They don't play Utah. They're still, in my opinion, an overwhelming favorite to win the Big 12, even with the backup quarterback. And I still think if Hammond provided, if he's healthy, I still think they can get better quarterback play than what they had a year ago when they dominated the Big 12. So I think that's still a good bet. If you can get even money or even plus money now, Texas Tech to win the Big 12, that's a great bet.
Holy smokes, that's absolutely. So are we talking about then simply one of the worst schedules that you've ever seen? Is that how weak we're talking here?
Yeah, among the Power Four, certainly among the very weakest. Because, I mean, there's not a single top 20 team, caliber team, maybe BYU. I mean, if they continue to have records like they've had the last couple of years. But really, BYU in a power rating is not going to be in the top 15. So, yeah, I mean, it's, and that's BYU if they play them in the Big 12 championship game. So, again, no BYU, no Utah. So, not a single team right now on paper in the top 30 in my power ratings. That's how easy it is.
So what other bets then could be made right now based on everything that you just said? Like you said, even money or maybe plus money to win the Big 12. What are numbers to actually make the playoff and beyond that?
Yeah, so, I've had my strongest position of this offseason is Texas Tech to win the Big 12. Sorsby was my biggest Heisman bet. So when that news broke, I wanted to leverage a little bit. So I bet some under 11.5. I even liked, even though I was really strong on Texas Tech as it was, I thought 11.5. That's an auto bet for me under, because I mean, everything has to go perfectly for you to cash that bet. Here's what happens with Sorsby, just a couple weeks after I'd already bet under 11.5, put a little bit more on that. But Big 12, people are asking me, well, who do we bet? I don't really like anybody in the Big 12 to unseat Texas Tech. So I didn't want to spread my money around in that. So right now, just 24 hours after the news broke, I'm kind of standing pat. Still, my biggest conference future position is Texas Tech to win the Big 12. And if you can find over 10.5, I don't see 2 losses. I think that's an okay bet.
All right, that's $1.80. And we meant that DraftKings has 9.
It's a little pricey, but
okay,
when you get, it's a good, lesson. I would say a half win's worth about 70, 75 cents in college football, but there's a big exception at the top and the bottom of those spectrums where you're talking about 2.5, 3.5 win totals, or at the top, 10.5, 11.5 win totals. Those extra half wins mean so much more. So I think over 10.5 is okay bet to make right now.
Okay, so then, look, we all know how it went last year for this team when they made the playoff. And like you said, you downgraded last year because they were so good and you expect some regression. It did not go well against Oregon. What did you think the ceiling was for Texas Tech before Sorsby compared to what it would be without him then?
So that's the question, and I'm glad you asked it. That's the major downgrade for me. I thought this team would be capable of winning multiple playoff games this year because of what Sorsby could give them from an athletic standpoint at quarterback that they didn't have last year. So I thought they, you could, say bona fide national title contender, not a playoff, just a playoff team, but a national title contender. I no longer think that's the case. Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to win the Big 12, but I don't see this team, winning 3 or 4 playoff games, let alone 1 at this point. So what happened, as far as I'm concerned, we went from maybe 8 teams, in my opinion, winning it all, at least in the preseason, legit national title contender. Now we're down to 7. Those teams being, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, Texas. Those would be the teams, and Miami, Florida would be the 7th.
Very good. Awesome information here. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Brad Powers. He's on X at Brad Powers 7. Great follow there. BradPowersports.com. Also, before, I think it was like last football season, you made the move from Las Vegas back to Ohio. And then we talked about you coming on yesterday, and there were some concerned viewers and listeners in the state. They said, hey, we know Brad moved back to Ohio. Can you ask him what's going on here, maybe with online betting? So there are some drastic changes on the horizon for online and phone betting in Ohio. What could change overall, it looks like, but all of that, limits on bets and more. What do you know as of right now, and how could this impact you personally?
Well, it's just a proposed bill so far, so it's not like it's passed. So, I mean, certainly there's concern out there right now, but, the way the bill is proposed, it effectively ends sports betting in Ohio. There's limitations on how much you can bet. It's like $100. That's no good. Obviously, player props are already for college, already out the window. You couldn't even bet on college sports, period. I mean, what a way to get reelected. Hey, you can't bet on Ohio State football anymore. I mean, it's just, that and then some. I mean, obviously really going to restrict any form of bets online. So it'll effectively end sports betting. I doubt it gets passed at this point if I'm reading the tea leaves, but so far it's proposed. So let's just say it's the worst case scenario, it gets passed. I can't live in Ohio and, do this job. So I would have to move.
You'd have to move. Is that something that you've actually thought, like, where would I move to? Like, what states are available? Where do I go? Or you don't even want your brain to go there yet?
Well, I'm only 10 miles from Indiana as it is. So I kind of anticipated there might be some shenanigans. So for the time being, I would just, make that 10-mile drive as much as I'd have to, especially during football. I'm not actively betting during the offseason. I'm just a football guy. So that helps me a little bit, but probably Indiana, Kentucky, somewhere around there. Okay,
very good. Well, let's obviously keep our fingers crossed and that doesn't happen. Did you bet the draft, though, at all? Did you like or hate anything, what happened last Thursday?
It was the least amount I draft, liquidity in 15 years. Thankfully, I made 2 bets, went 2-0, but I was so limited that I didn't even bother.
Okay.
I think I tried to bet something. It was a -500. I'll tell you what it was. It was over offensive players in the first round. I think it was 15.5. It was juiced at like -500. I just simply wanted to bet 2,500 to win $500. They came back with a proposal, 250 to win 50. And I said that this isn't worth my time.
You said you're tapping out at that point, man. Are you high on Ty Simpson?
I like where he went. I mean, obviously he's going to be surrounded by a lot of talent, great coaching. I think he can succeed in that organization. Was I surprised that he went there? Absolutely. Would I have drafted him in the top 15? No, I would not have.
Totally fair. Brad, Dynamite catching up, man. Thanks so much for the information and the time. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Good to see you. Yep. Derby's days away, and our Derby betting guide is out. Can Samich hit the Super again? Best bets, predictions, past performances. Get the Triple Crown special, just $14.99 through the Belmont Stakes, Oaks, Derby previews, every best bet, all the betting splits, AI-powered prop tools. It expires April 30th. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get the guide now. It's bleeping fantastic, as Bill Addy says.
PSG up 5-4 over Bayern Munich.
It's drunk. It's drunk.
Wow.
It was 5-2 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Win, lose next. Ladder bets. Horrific beats in baseball. Bullpens did it again. A 40-1 ticket that cashed in the NBA. Paulie has all the details.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Congratulations or condolences. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year, 11-1 with 2 weeks left in the season. 36 voters switched up and changed their mind after the Bontemps straw poll after Flagg scored 45 and 51 points the next 2 games and then kind of petered out the rest of the season. It was 80-20 Knippel, first place votes with 2 weeks left. It was 56-44 when it was all said and done. Flagg wins.
What do you think?
Prisoner of the moment. Shame on the voters. It's a long season. Why did 36 people flip their votes based on 2 games? And a guy, he missed a lot of time, too. And I think that the Hornets making the play-in also matters a little bit and would break the tie. Because you're playing meaningless games and you're tanking as well as an organization.
Yeah.
Yep. Magic money line plus 180. Bain most threes plus 450. Carter most rebounds plus 475. He did it again.
Well, I tip my cap to you, Paulie, because you understand what you're watching here in the series. And you have been all over Orlando basically since game 1.
Well, yes. Game 1, that's when you knew something was wrong.
They set the tone, I think.
That is a horrific spot for Orlando. You are coming off the play-in win Friday night. You have to play an early game Sunday. The 1 seed is well rested, ready to go, and they never led. That was sound the alarms time.
Yeah.
Nuggets T-Wolves, most threes. Jones 40-1. Most points. Joker and Randall dead heat. Randall was 8-1, so you cut the bike in half. Joker triple-double, $1.10. Thunder Suns. Nick Whalen does it again. The Costanza Chucker. Mitchell. 3 made threes plus 430. 4, 11-1. He's not shy. He'll let it rip.
Starting in games like that. Yeah, that was
what
a good
fun game. Everyone ate in that one.
I love that game. That was
Green. Take 1 of 10 from 3. Take it easy.
It was highly entertaining.
What are you doing? Marlins first 5 plus 260 got there. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Was this, what's his name? Rick? Well, I forget the guy's name. He's watched for a long time.
Rich, yeah.
Yes. He's got the Circus Survivor Change Bucket Fund ready to go. Look at that. Marked. Every time I come back with some change, it goes in the bucket, and I'll be in Survivor, rest assured, before we kick off.
Do whatever you got to do.
Good job. That is excellent. And several people sent this in only in Florida, baby. It's real and it's spectacular. Let's go out to the pool where the real-life gator is on top of the toy inflatable gator. You can't make it up. Imagine you walk out and you see that. That's crazy.
It's like his best friend.
I know. The real gator on the inflatable gator in Florida in a backyard pool.
Where you been, buddy? I missed you this whole time.
I got to figure it out. That's awesome. That is great. Couple lose some. This is actually a win some. This is my bad. But look at this at the shelter where the dog is scared. Perhaps AI. I hope not. In any event, great where the St. Bernard is comforting the dog who was in the shelter and he's shivering and alone and abandoned and scared. Look at the guy, huh? That's strong. That's friendship, baby. I got you. You'll be okay. Give him a little
buddy.
hug. That is awesome. I hope that's not AI. That's so good. And several people have sent that to me. This would be a lose some. This is like humans. Get that poison out of here. Vegetables. What do we got? Broccoli here. Green food. Cucumber. Puts that down right in the
garbage.
Right in the trash.
That might have been a kiwi.
Was that what it was?
It may have been. I saw it happened so quickly.
Something else?
That's a cucumber right there.
Okay, right.
Wait, no, is he going to eat that thing?
No, put it in the garbage. Is he?
He's giving it a good run for its money here.
Let's see what happens. Oh, he put that one down. Okay.
That's an asparagus.
You right?
Oh,
right
directly into the...
right in the garbage. 2 for 3. Spits it right out. How good is this? It's like the Rottweiler, where they put the broccoli in front of him. He shakes his head. No, get that out of here. It's like humans. Excellent. Oh, the vicious beats. Send that to me, guys. I'll put that up. That's excellent. The vicious beats. Knippel, Rookie of the Year, 20-1. He was minus 2,500 at Caesars the day where the straw poll came out. With 2 weeks left. You prisoners of the moment.
That's absolutely infuriating, yet again, with NBA award voters.
Dodgers first 5. 2 outs in the 5th. Yamamoto gives up a home run. But Marlins plus 260 to win the game was a bad beat. The Dodgers walked them off in the bottom of the 9th.
They got a 3 spot.
Pirates 2-0. They blew it in the 9th. They lose to the Cardinals. And Flyers, Penguins over 5.5. 3-2 in the second period.
Nothing.
Bupkis the rest of the way.
You know what's so funny about that Pirates game? It was a bullpen day, and they used like 10 guys. That might be a bit much, but everybody was spectacular. In fact, they had like 2 hits allowed deep into the game. Then they brought in their closer to finish it off.
Yeah.
Absolutely rocked.
Yeah. I hate relievers. I hate them. Hate closers. Come on, guys. Just ruined it. Ruined it for the team. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. They've been winning for 15 straight years. Great to have them on board, and Jeff and the crew been with Follow the Money since day one. And I love the Mr. Poison tweets and updates every day. Respected, watched, and feared. Documented, logs posted publicly, sharpplays.com. Pulling in selections and intel from over 500 pro bettors and sources worldwide across all sports. They send it right to the subscribers in real time. Start winning at sharpplays.com.
Oh, this is a total game changer for us here at VSiN. Great news today. We just got the alert at right before noon Pacific time. For those of you who watch the show on a daily basis, maybe hopefully into the evenings as well, when games are going on, when you watch it on YouTube TV, now we're part of the whole multi-view options that you can have right there. So you know how you probably know. If you watch on YouTube TV, you know what I'm talking about. For those who don't, you're thinking about getting it. The multi-view options on YouTube TV are absolutely amazing. Total game changer, has been for years. And so when you go to like build your own, I don't know why I'm mimicking like having a remote in my hand, but I am right now.
It's like the George Carlin bit, where the guy gives you the phone, the phone call.
So you build your own multi-view, and then VSiN pops up. You can actually have that on and listen to us, watch us while games are going on at the same time. And you might get a good tip as games are happening. So right now, if you had the PSG Bayern Munich game on and you were watching our show, we were talking about it. I would love to hear from you, by the way, on X or somewhere, at VSiN Live at Mitch Moss Radio, Paulie Howard. This was 6.5 when we talked about it. It's now 5-4. The total was 6.5.
Imagine what Munich was in play, or draw was 5-2. The other thing is that you can't, there's so many announcers you have to mute. Reggie Miller, and the list goes on and on, too. So
during the game's overall.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do Reggie Miller at all.
Is he number one on your whole list? Because I saw this when...
Gus Johnson?
Well, I think Gus has dialed it back over the years, actually. No, you don't agree with that?
He goes to 11.
Here is, this is not me talking, the reaction when, now that NBC and Peacock, they have the NBA, the reaction that I saw from Knicks fans when he was on every game, they're just like, I can't do this. I can't believe that he's on every Knicks game, and why do they do that to us on purpose? And I can't stand listening to the guy anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. There's that lifelong hatred for the guy anyway because of that rivalry and what he did to the team over and over again. So that does kind of stink.
Yep.
But I know people who think that there's a broadcaster way worse than him.
An analyst?
Yes.
Or
people loathe Chris Webber.
I thought he's off, though.
Well, he was doing some games, I think, during March Madness.
Okay.
Yeah, because that popped up again to me, and people were so mad that he was on games. I'm like, I think we take this a little too seriously, to be honest.
Well, people get fired up. I know.
That they do for sure.
But, if you want to mute them, go ahead.
So what do you make of betting NBA awards moving forward, Paulie?
Well, I just think that's where you have to lock in a profit, though. Like if you had Knipple tickets, just take the 11-1 with fly. Now you're not going to think that the guy's going to go out and score 51 and 45, but you're also not going to think that would move the needle and change things that much,
right?
And that awards voters would do that. But the question we asked, and we didn't know at the time, when it was 80-20 Knipple, how many voters are on the fence or flippable, if you will? And it turned out a lot of them.
Well, and how many of the 100 people who participated in the straw poll were actually voters? Because that straw poll it's the first time they ever did one for the Rookie of the Year. They've done it many years now for the MVP, and it's not all award voters, but it mostly reflects how it's going to end up. And SGA is not going to all of a sudden lose the MVP because the straw poll was accurate and strong on him throughout the entire time. So that's going to reflect how it's actually going to play out. And with this, it's so if Knipple played well in the play-in games and he wasn't, does he win the award?
Likely.
It's just like the dumb. Come on, what are we? 2 games?
I don't. Yeah.
For a team that their win total was 24.5.
It's tough, but I think that just shows you nothing's a sure thing, and you have to lock in a profit. You have to. When he got to 2,500, you had to take the 11-1.
And I didn't do that. I didn't.
Because you don't know what these people are thinking, and you hear some bizarre stuff.
I mean,
rationale, and you get some bizarre reasoning too.
We'll expand on that coming up because it's something that we have discussed for a long time on the show.